Thank you very much, Vice President Katrin, for this opportunity to share a few thoughts. And I thought what I would really like to do is to just lift up and crystallize a few of the important insights that I heard and read before our meeting. And I'm speaking particularly, from the perspective of religious traditions. I think that our religious traditions on the whole value knowledge and the overcoming of ignorance. And the sacred texts and teachings of these traditions are filled with inspirational verses that commend learning and caution us about the dangers of ignorance. We heard some beautiful texts from the Sikh tradition that was shared by Sahib Mohinder Singh this morning. Historically, religious traditions have contributed not only to the development of theology, but also to the fields of medicine, mathematics, chemistry, and astronomy, among others. These traditions value teachers and the dissemination of knowledge. So I believe that this shared commitment to learning and to education and the value for teaching is a powerful source and a powerful inspiration for collaboration among the world's religious tradition. It's a starting point, a significant starting point in the development of educational systems that promote the flourishing of children and of communities. I speak of it as a starting point because I believe that our traditions are challenged. And they are challenged to translate this value for learning, for education, into pragmatic policies that make a difference in the lives of children. If we believe, as I think we all do, that every child needs an education for the realization of the fullness of her human potential, then this need must be championed as a fundamental right. So religious traditions need to bring together what they recognize as a fundamental need, but also to adopt the discourse of representing this as a fundamental human right. I think, you mentioned in your opening comments, Katrin, the Sustainable Development Goals, and we have one goal number 4, which speaks in a very special way to the necessity for inclusive and equitable education. So if we agree on education as a fundamental right of children, then we have a moral obligation to ensure that opportunities for quality education are available to all children. And as so many said already this morning, this moral obligation extends in a very special way to the poor, to the marginalized, to the vulnerable, to those children with special needs. A global education ecosystem that does not recognize and address historical disparities is not just, and it is not moral. Perhaps the final point I want to make, Katrin, is that our collaboration across traditions and differences requires that we give particular consideration to the plight of the girl child. This is a persisting problem. Though acknowledging ongoing changes, we cannot deny also that in so many countries around the world, patriarchal values and entrenched structures severely limit education for girls. And most of these values and structures are legitimized by religious appeals. In this matter, we have a special responsibility as traditions to challenge beliefs and practices that in the name of religion condone the unequal treatment of girls and impede their flourishing and their well-being. I think our traditions have a vital role to play as advocates of gender equality in education. And because the education of the girl child, as from all of our studies, is vital to lifting communities, lifting families out of poverty. We have, there's so much to say, Katrin, but I must stop here. I just wanted to add, to reiterate the point that the education that we need is one that cannot only be focused on technical skills and expertise, but must also aim to overcome suffering, promote a culture where life flourishes, inclusive, equitable, justice-centered education that serves the common good. Thank you.